What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for your second installment of my potential FM21 Wonderkid series. Now, in the first video we took a look at some defensive players that could well become Wonderkids on FM21. If you did miss that, please do go back and check it out, as there are some absolute gems in there that you're going to want to keep an eye out for. Now, in today's video we'll be looking at some potential Wonderkid midfielders that could be ones to watch on FM21, and believe me, there are some serious talents in today's video that are well worth your time. Let's not waste any more time, guys. We are going to get straight into the video and talk about some potential Wonderkid midfielders that you're going to want to keep an eye out for on the next game. So the first midfielder I wanted to bring to you in today's video is 17-year-old Salahulad. He is a Dutch youth international who joined Arsenal on a free transfer this past summer, I believe in August. And he joined them from Feyenoord's esteemed youth academy, so he is a very good pedigree on that front. During my save with Feyenoord on FM20, I quickly promoted him to the first team, and he turned out to be a very good all-round playmaker in midfield, and he has a real talent for carrying the ball and picking out a key pass to forward players. So he seems to be at his best for me in a deep lying or advanced playmaking role, with a more defensive player behind him to free him up slightly, and a forward line with good movement in front of him so that he can pick them out of a nice through ball. Now, his strengths are particularly his passing and vision. As I mentioned before, he has a real eye for a pass. Overall, his technique is very good. He is really good on the ball, a great ball carrier. He is very athletic as well, so he can really get himself up and down the pitch where he's needed. He's a relatively tall lad as well for a midfielder, quite powerful, but that's at no expense to his flair. He's still quite a flair player, and has a trick or two on the ball, which is always nice to complement his first touch as well. Now, in my mind, there is no doubt that we have a serious player on our hands here, and I don't think it will be too long before Mikel Arteta at Arsenal takes note of this young midfielder that he has in his youth setup, as he's a real talent. Now, this is a player who he's probably ideal for a loan move in the first year, to be honest, the first year of your FM21 save, as if he is underappreciated by Arsenal in the first season, I'm sure they'll be willing to loan him out. And if they continue to undervalue him, you might even be able to take him off their hands permanently as well on a permanent transfer. So definitely one to keep an eye out for, guys. So in the last video, when we looked at some defensive potential Wonderkids, I talked about the reputation of Le Havre and their academy when it comes to producing top young players and focus on youth development. Well, I can confirm they've gone and done it again, guys. The next player I want to bring to you is 18-year-old Dalem Meda from Le Havre. Now, he is a very well-rounded midfield player, again in the playmaking roles, and quickly made the step up to the first team on my Le Havre save on FM20 seamlessly, it has to be said. Because he is so well-rounded, you can get the best out of him in a three-man midfield, probably with one more defensively minded player behind him, someone like Abdullah Bar, for example, who featured on the previous video, and maybe a more attack-minded player in front of him as well, who's maybe a little bit more creative, a bit more dynamic. Now, his strengths are his vision and technique to begin with, which obviously go hand in hand. They're really important. He's got the eye for the pass, but also has the technical ability and passing attributes to be able to pull those passes off. Again, he's a really athletic player, another tall midfield player, powerful, good engine, gets up and down the pitch really well. I rarely had to rest him on my FM20 save. He was always in the team, which was nice to have, especially for a young player, because you often find yourself having to rest young players if they've been in the team for a little while. Again, similar to Salahulad, his first touch and dribbling is really good. He's a really good ball carrier. However, he's got a couple of things up his sleeve, this one. Now, Meda, he likes to crack off a long shot or two, and now his long shot attribute in game, accompanied with his with other attributes, for example, such as his technique, mean that he can be a threat from deep. You know, if you're struggling to break a team down, this kid is not afraid to let fly from range, and he did just that a few times for me on my own save. So I've seen it firsthand, guys. He is more than capable on the game of scoring from distance, which is particularly nice to have in a midfield player. He is pretty solid defensively as well, though. He does mark his man pretty well. He's decent in the tackle, but I wouldn't say it's a particular strength of his. But he won't be letting his man run beyond him too often, which is good. So in my opinion, Meda is someone you should be really looking to pick up in your first season before he develops too much on FM21, and his price tag is really inflated on the game, which obviously we know can happen after a season or two if a player does sort of develop into a wonder kid within the first season. Now you're going to want to get your scouts to look into him early on, as soon as possible really, as soon as you fire up that brand new first save on FM21. Now, another club known for their focus on youth development is Genk over in Belgium, and boy have they got a wonder kid on their hands right here. Pierre Dwomoh is a 16-year-old Belgium youth international and looks like he could become an absolute beast in central midfield. Now, this kid was offered a pro contract way before he turned 16 and has been fast-tracked into the first team at Genk. If you search this guy's name on YouTube, there are highlight videos showing him absolutely bossing games and bullying people at youth level in a very, very similar way to what we saw from Lukaku, who did exactly the same some years ago now. Now, this young man seems to have developed at a far quicker pace than his peers around him at youth level, and it really shows when he plays. Now, I've listed some of his strengths here, but he's got some similar strengths to a couple of the players we've talked about already today. But I really want to hit home, I want to stress the fact that this guy physically is very, very impressive for the level he's playing at. Now, he's obviously only 16, so he's still got some growing and some filling out to do. But already, in comparison to the players around him, he is an absolute monster. And to be honest, sometimes players that are overly physical, you know, their technical attributes can suffer because of it. But with this kid, that is not a problem. He's got bags of flair, great technique, really, really good ball carrier, you know, dribbling through players, fancy touches, the vision to cut a defence open with a nice little pass. In fact, there is a YouTube video that shows off this guy's highlights, and I'm actually going to put a link to that in the description below because I think you guys really need to see it, because this kid is something special. Now, by the looks of this lad, he could be shaped to play in any midfield role you like, to be honest, but he looks like he'd probably be most effective picking the ball up and driving at the opposition, because the ability to beat a man in central midfield is quite a rare quality. So when you find that in a midfield player, you really should hold on to it, and he's got the ability to do just that. Now, he is 16, so I'd be very, very disappointed if he isn't on FM21, considering, well, obviously he wasn't on Football Manager 20 because he was far too young to appear on that game when it was released. If he is on this year's game, which again I'm praying he will be, I think you might struggle to convince Genk to part with him sort of in the first few years. I mean, you're going to want to move really quickly to sign him if he is someone that interests you. As I feel like, I mean, personally, I don't want to make too many comparisons, but he's got that kind of Camavinga feel about him. You know how quickly everyone cottoned on to Camavinga, both in real life and on the game. You know, he was only 17 when people started hearing about him, 16 or 17. I really think Pierre Dwomoh could well be the Camavinga of FM21. So do keep your eyes peeled. Thanks very much, it must be said, to Espen over at Passion for FM, who actually brought this wonder kid to my attention in his FM21 potential wonder kids database. Again, I can put the link to that in the description as well if you like, guys, if you haven't already checked that one out. So I really hope you've enjoyed the video today, guys. I know I have thoroughly enjoyed making it for you. If you have benefited from watching today's video, please do go ahead and drop a thumbs up on it for me, please. And also let me know if you have used or are going to use any of the players mentioned in today's video, or also in the previous video on defenders. I personally can't wait to see if Pierre Dwomoh from Genk is on FM21. and I think if he is, I will probably be doing a save with Genk at some point. If you have any feedback on the video, guys, please do share that with me in the comment section below also, whether it be good or bad. I'm always open to suggestions from you guys. If you are new to the channel and you're new to the series, please do hit that subscribe button for me and ring that bell so that you don't miss any future content on Wonderkids videos, tactics videos, and also some Let's Play stuff that I'm going to have moving forward. Until next time though, guys, thank you very much for taking the time out to watch today's video. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.